Grizzlies fans know it's the team that gives you the edge. Big River Steel does too. And much like the Grizzlies have recruited legendary talent, we want you to be part of our team. Are you ready to be part of something legendary? Then visit www.bigriversteel.com. That's www.bigriversteel.com.
When it's all on the line, you turn to the strong, the stable, the unwavering. To those with a history of raising their performance to meet the moment. It's true in basketball. It's true in banking. Grizzlies Checking from Pinnacle. Play hard. Bank easy. Open a Grizzlies checking account with at least $100 and a recurring direct deposit by August 31st. And you could receive a $200 direct deposit bonus into your account. Details at grizzliesbanking.com. Member FDIC.
Justin Timberlake.
I'm bringing sexy back.
The Forget Tomorrow World Tour. Live in Memphis. Justin Timberlake. FedEx Forum, Saturday, November 23rd. Get tickets now at livenation.com. The brand new single Selfish is available to stream and download now.
So if I get jealous, I can't help it.
For more, hit up justintimberlake.com.
We got to talk about the best wrestling that we watched all week. You're up.
I think Brunson Reed and Braun Strowman put on a 5-star match in 60 seconds. I've never seen it happen before. Brunson Reed chunks the fan at Braun. I'm like, where the hell did that dude come from?
I got a tweet saying it's a good thing they're not in Memphis, or else that would have been one of the Memphis wrestling guys getting hurled.
Exactly.
Tune in to Grind City Wrestling weekly on the Grind City Media app and on the Grind City Media YouTube channel.
Live from the Built Ford Tough studio at FedEx Forum, it's the Gary Parrish Show, presented by Ortho South, on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Now, here's your host, Gary Parrish.
All right, I'm here. My name is Gary Parrish. I'm speaking to you from the Built Ford Tough studio, FedEx Forum, downtown Memphis. Bennett Doyle right there producing the program. Glad he's with me. Glad you're with me. Hope you're getting through the day best you can. And I hope if you happen to be at the first preseason game of the year inside FedEx Forum last night, Grizz-Hornets, that you, I don't know, had something to distract you from what was actually happening on the basketball court, because that couldn't have been fun to experience. Bennett Doyle was in the building. We'll talk about it momentarily. First, though, quickly, let me set today's schedule for you. In the next segment, in about 15 minutes or so, Jessica Benson is going to join me. She had a hell of a night, I gather, chasing dogs around 1 o'clock in the morning.
What?
Oh, she had a hell of a night.
I didn't know this.
I walked right in there to her. As soon as the show was wrapped up. I said, you know what? I'm going to get to you early. I'm going to get you out of here early.
Oh, nice. Good.
Because she sounds like she needs a nap. We'll get her to run us through her night of misfortune. We'll do that in about 15 minutes. When I finish talking to Jess, I'll take a break, come back, do 5 more things you need to know, at which point we'll discuss 5 previously undiscussed stories. Among them, as predicted, the Memphis football program will not play in Tampa. From the second they said they were going to play in Tampa on Saturday, we both said, no, they're not.
No, they're not. Right.
Then they announced it yesterday. They're not going to play in Tampa. They're going to go to Orlando and play South Florida instead. Maybe pop into Disney World or
That'd be
Epcot
awesome,
or something.
yeah.
I'll get you updated on that situation. We'll do it in about 40 minutes. Big college basketball news this morning. The Boozer twins have committed to Duke. That's where their father played, of course. Another massive development for Jon Scheyer's program. Tell you more about that in just a bit. Acclaimed actress Jessica Chastain.
Love her.
I think I do too.
She's one of my favorites.
I think she was.
She's
too.
a goat.
Oh, she's in a fight on social media with JetBlue.
Okay, well, we stand with her. I don't know the circumstances, but I stand with Jessica.
I don't know if I do, Bennett.
Oh.
I don't know if I do. And I appreciate her just like you do.
Okay.
I appreciate her just like you do.
All right.
I like that red hair, you know?
She's great.
She is great. She's fighting with JetBlue on social media.
Okay.
I'll tell you what happened. We'll do that in the third segment. Game 1 of the WNBA Finals went to the Minnesota Lynx last night. They're now 2 wins away from a title. Former MVP blew it. Can't make a free throw, can't make a layup. We'll get into that in the second hour. And the Yankees eliminated the Royals last night in Kansas City. Sets up a wild Monday for New York sports fans. Tell you all about that during a segment we call 5 More Things You Need to Know. Then we'll eventually do GP's carry out and we'll call it a day. So that's the rundown. We got a lot to get to, but I did want to start with your Memphis Grizzlies because game number 2 of a scheduled 5 preseason contest held last night inside FedEx Forum. If you were there, I'm sorry. I'm sorry you had to see that. Final score, Hornets 119, Grizz 94. Turns out, when you don't have John Morant, Jaren Jackson Jr., Vince Williams, Gigi Jackson, or Brandon Clark for various injury-related reasons, you are at risk of getting blown out by Charlotte at home in the preseason. That's more or less what we learned last night.
Yeah, I think so.
Woo. After the 25-point loss, it was 25 points, Taylor Jenkins met with the media, as head coaches tend to do after games, and expressed disappointment with the energy and the pace. They struggled, the Grizz did, in just about every way. Shot 36.6% from the field, 33.3% from 3, 23 assists, 22 turnovers. And Zach Edey, the 9th pick in the 2024 NBA draft, did not have the kind of home debut anybody would have wanted. Took 8 shots, missed 6 of them. Finished with 10 points, 5 rebounds. He was 0 of 3 from 3 with an air ball. I always suspected it's easier to hit them in a practice gym than it is in an actual game against actual NBA players. But I'm willing to keep an open mind about it. You sat through it last night, Bennett. What was that like?
I mean,
at least I had baseball to distract me.
It wasn't great. It wasn't great. I'm not gonna lie. Like I have made no bones about it. I'm not a huge fan of the preseason. Anyways,
guess who else isn't?
Yeah.
Zach Edey and John Conchar.
Well, good. Hey, then we're all in this together.
We're all ready to be done with this. It looks like.
No, obviously it wasn't. I agree with Taylor Jenkins. Like it wasn't a great effort. If like you're looking for any positives, one thing last night was, so Desmond Bane had struggled in the last preseason game and struggled in the first half of this preseason game, and then he really found a rhythm in that second half. So it was good to see him catch fire and hit a bunch of threes. Like it's like, oh, okay, there's Desmond Bane. Like that's the guy we know.
He was
right
7
there.
of 13 from the field, 3 of 5 from beyond the arc.
Yeah, so that was good to see last night. And the Zach Edey thing, I think it's going to be a process. I think the positive thing for Grizzlies fans is when you have all your guys and you have that starting 5, like Zach Edey's probably not going to be a focal point of the offense. Right. Very often. And so that's a good thing. I loved a lot of people have seen it. I loved him sitting on the scorer's table for a long time, talking with Taylor Jenkins when he came out at the end of the game, because clearly that showed that he was frustrated at how he was playing, and they were talking through it a little bit. It looked like a good conversation. So I liked that. And I think just maybe patience a little bit with him.
Yeah, you mentioned it's going to be a process. I think that almost goes without saying, although it's worth reminding folks. It's a process for all rookies.
For sure.
You know who else it was a process for? Caitlin Clark.
That's right.
Do you remember?
Well, Brandon Miller, and he looked awesome last night in that game. Like, he looks like a guy that could be a breakout candidate this season,
We should submit it to the general managers.
Right.
Try to get that on the survey.
Yeah.
Of course it's going to be a process. And I just sort of decided I'm not going to overanalyze every 48 minutes of basketball as it pertains to Zach Edey. We've seen him look encouraging, and then last night we saw him struggle a little bit. All of this is new. The pace at which he's being asked to play and move is new. The role he's being asked to play is new. He is going from playing college basketball in a program that moved at his pace, didn't ask him to move any more quickly than he was comfortable moving. It was more or less like, this is how Zach moves. This is how the rest of us are going to move. As opposed to, this is the way Ja moves. This is the way we need you to move now. Totally different. He's also going from, at Purdue, not only was he the primary option, he was the only That's what you did.
Yeah.
Every possession was let's let Zach touch it. Now, in the NBA, when everybody's healthy, at best he's the fourth option when he's on the court. Typically, with the other starters, at best he's the fourth option. So of course it's going to be a process, and he's going to have nights where you go, "Ooh, buddy, looks like they might have found something," and then he's going to have nights where you go, "Oh, buddy, it's just
foul trouble.
It's moving a little fast for him."
Yep.
Yeah, he's going to have some of those.
For sure.
In the first month of the season, the people who were preconditioned to do this were mocking Caitlin Clark. Oh, she can't make a shot. Oh, it's harder now, isn't it? By the end of the season, she was one of the 5 best players in the world. The beginning of the season, she looked like it was a little more complicated than it was for her at Iowa. By the end of the season, nothing looked complicated at all. So I'm not comparing Zach Edey to Caitlin Clark, obviously. I'm just saying that
get the point.
If it's a process for Caitlin Clark and there's a learning curve that has to be experienced, then it's reasonable to assume that it's going to be the same way for Zach Edey, perhaps even a bigger learning curve. In fact, I would assume so. I would assume so. But, I just can't, I can't come in here every morning and pick apart Zach Edey or put him in the Hall of Fame when he, goes 6 for 8 instead of 2 of 8.
Yeah.
This is what it's going to be. The good news is that before the game, before all of this unfolded, if you're looking for a positive of the night, Taylor Jenkins did make it clear that though Gigi and Vince are not expected to be available for the season opener, they are expecting John Jaren to be there.
Which is massive.
Yes. I mean, we have assumed that.
Sure. But to hear it.
But we've only assumed it. We're just sort of making assumptions based off of a history of injuries and what these types of things typically call for. But to hear the head coach, who is working in conjunction with the training staff, to hear the head coach, undeniably say on the record, we're expecting both of them to be available on opening night. We're just going to be careful with them until opening night. What that suggests is we might not see them this weekend in a preseason game or in any other preseason game.
That's fine.
Fine with me. But we should see them on opening night in what is now less than a couple of weeks. Jessica Benson is the host of the Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt. She had a hell of a night last night. Imagine you got a wake-up call at 4:30 in the morning and you're chasing a dog around at 1:30 in the morning. That's not fun.
No, that doesn't sound
that can't
fun
be
at all.
fun. We'll bring Sleepy Jess in next. Talk to her about her night, college football. Gary Parrish Show presented by Ortho South.
Ja Morant, the player in the NBA with the most approved going into this season.
Ja Morant is one of the best players in the world. He's one of the best players in the world.
On the court, there is no question, barring injury, that what Ja Morant is.
Hey, Grizzlies fans, be sure to tune in to Grizzbeat, where the panel and I break down all things Grizzlies and take a look at the rest of the NBA as well. The show is live every Wednesday, 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
What do you think about this matchup against the Pirates and the Bison?
Well, the first thing that comes to mind is who in the hell put Gus Johnson as the notable alumni selection when we got Kamala Harris right now? That's more relevant. It's 28 people I would have named before I would have got the Gus Johnson.
My assumption is, Mike, Hampton will find a way to come up again. Get all of your HBCU sports and culture news by tuning in to HBCU Huddle with CJ Hurt and Mike Wallace. New episodes drop every Thursday on grindcitymedia.com, YouTube, and Spotify.
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GVWR.
Sonic Radio. Welcome back to Sonic RNDIO. That spells radio with me, the CIO. This just in, the new Sonic $1.99 menu lets you build a crave-worthy meal for just $1.99 an item. Whether that's a creamy shake, crispy tots, or a quarter-pound double cheeseburger. This just out. Ostriches. They're mean, not very cute, and in my opinion, way too big for a bird. Don't miss the Sonic Fun 99 menu. 5 items, always $1.99. Live free, eat Sonic.
Tax not included. See menu for details. Number 9 is going to go into the rafters this year, and so make sure if you don't have tickets already, go grab those.
Okay, then.
March 15th, you know the night now.
Yo,
Tony Allen,
let's
jersey
go.
retirement night. You got a big-time night, too. A Saturday night against Miami this is a great one.
That's lit. That's lit, man. Big shout out.
The Chris Vernon Show, live on weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Welcome back, Gary Parrish Show, presented by Ortho South. Jessica Benson's the host of the Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt, weekdays 8 a.m., Grind City Media. And I guess it's cool to have an 8 a.m. show up until the point where you're up till. What time did you finally put your eyes closed last night?
I think like 2:30.
Woo.
I think around 2:30.
Wake up call comes at what time?
Usually 4:30.
What'd you do this time?
5:45.
Oh, you can fake that opening segment if you need to.
Sure can. I can just talk about me chasing dogs around the neighborhood if I need to.
All right. So I don't want to tell your story. I don't feel like it's my
Tell
place.
your story.
So I'll let you tell your story. What happened last night?
Oh, we're dog sitting.
You know what?
You know?
I know you're dog sitting, and I know you like to call yourself incredible dog sitters, and I'm not here to question
We
it.
are incredible dog sitters. The fact that
You
how
keep
we
losing
handle-
dogs.
No, this is only the second time that a dog has gotten out under our watch.
If you were running a prison and 2 prisoners escaped, would you keep your job? Would you say I'm the best? I'm the best.
I'm the best.
I'm the best prison warden. I'm the best warden.
here's the thing
No, you
with-
keep losing prisoners. You're not the best warden.
Okay.
You keep losing dogs. Stop
Let's
bragging
not
about how good you
compare
are.
the dogs to the prisoners.
Stop bragging about how good you are. You're losing people's dogs.
Well, it's one of those things. It was, we had the game last night, and so whenever there is a Grizzlies home game, because of my schedule, I usually don't go back to where we're house sitting.
Mhm.
Chris takes care of it that night so that I can just come. We live downtown.
Sure.
It's easy. It's a 5-minute drive. I can get as much sleep as possible, and he takes
In
care
theory.
of it in theory. And so when I got a call from Chris around like 12:45 last night saying, please don't panic, but one of the dogs escaped, and I have been trying to get her back for now 30 to 40 minutes, and it's not working. He was like, but don't panic. And I was like, well, I'm coming over.
There's no way
And-
not to panic.
Exactly. He was like, I'll take care of it. I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to come help you. Because it was one of those instances where dogs are funny little creatures, and they do the weirdest things sometimes. Like, this is a dog who we love deeply, have a good, like, Chris has a picture with this dog from 10 minutes before he let her outside to go to the bathroom one last time before bed, and they're like cuddling on the couch together, and he was like, night night. And then the next moment, this dog found a hole in a fence outside and escaped into a back field. And when Chris finally found the dog acted like she had never seen Chris in her life and was barking like crazy and wouldn't come and seemed really scared.
Right.
And like we know at this point, like a scared dog, you have to be really careful because you don't want to get bit. You don't want the dog to be so scared that they run off, and then you have a deeper problem on your hands because you got to go hunt for this dog.
Yeah.
And so
nobody
we
wants to go
thought-
dog hunting in the middle of the night.
No,
on
they sure don't.
On a
So,
Thursday.
But I put my clothes back on and
Oh,
got
wow.
in the car and went down to meet him because I thought maybe
It'd have been wilder if you didn't put your clothes back on and got in the car.
That would be crazy.
You just showed
That
up
would be
nude,
just
trying to chase some
straight in
dogs.
the nude with the floodlights of my car, trying to help. And when I fell in a hole, because I did fall in a hole last night because it was dark out and I missed.
Did you injure yourself?
I think a little bit. I've been dealing with some back problems to begin with. I got
Welcome
a
to the
Toradol
club.
shot this week.
Falling when you don't expect to fall
It's
is
so scary. And like Chris gets so scared for me, and the look on his face when I fell made me more scared about my fall than the actual fall itself, because you just see like his face went like white, like, oh my God, not only have I gotten myself in this pickle, now my wife, who has had some injury
now we're going to
problems.
Ortho South. Now we're headed to
Again.
as soon as we find this dog, we're headed to
Again.
Ortho South again. I fell once and almost died.
He was scared I was gonna, like he said when he watched it happen, and it was concrete. Like it was like a little, like a brick layer that looked like the brick layer from my vantage point that it connected to the grass across. Little did I know there was a big ditch in the middle of it that was just concrete. And he thought I was going to hit my head on the other side of the concrete. But I caught myself with my arm, and my back is, after a good day of back pain yesterday between the seats on Radio Row at the Grizzlies games that Bennett and I suffer through and the fall, wasn't great. But it was the weirdest thing because even this family, they had a family member here. And so Chris called them because he wants to keep them updated. And, we always cross all the boxes if something like this were to happen because he wanted to be clear, like, there was a hole in your fence that this dog got out of. He's like, I'm not blaming you.
How do you feel about making that phone call? I would prefer they never need to know about this.
Usually that's how I go, and that's how he would normally go too. Like
he seemed real concerned.
He was really scared because the dog would not respond to him.
Right.
And so finally he was like, in his head, if I could get the owner on the phone and their voice on the phone, on speakerphone, maybe then the dog would come and chill. Did not work. So now you have a concerned owner. You have a concerned Chris. The owner had a family member here, called that person. And I mean, just to testify to the weirdness of dogs, this is someone who has interacted with this dog for years.
Okay.
And it took another 20 minutes of all three of us trying to beckon this dog. He had a hot dog. I had a jar of peanut butter. Chris was losing his mind at this point, and finally it was the hot dog that did it. But the guy was like, usually she runs and jumps on me, and in this moment this dog was just scared out of her mind.
What a
and
wild
got
deal.
to a place, and then the dog comes and is licking all of us and hops in Chris's car, and we're like, you've got to be kidding me, and wants to snuggle back up the second we get home.
Our little Luca is like he if he can get out of the door, everything's a game now.
Yeah.
He's coming back eventually, but he wants you to chase him, and he will chase anybody else. I've quite literally, there'll be walkers through our neighborhood, right? And I have to, and once he sees a walker, he's with them.
Yeah.
And he's gone. I have to ask the walker, can you please walk with me back to my home? He'll follow you. He will not follow me at this point because he wants to.
Weird.
Right. He wants to lay with me all day long, but now he's out and it's a game, and he wants to go wherever he can go, and he won't just come with me.
Right.
But if you come with me,
Then
he'll
will
come with us. Dogs are wild.
Once a dog is off a leash, there's nothing scarier as a dog sitter. And we always say,
losing somebody else's dog would be.
Oh my God, it's petrifying because it's.
Have you
their
ever
child.
lost one for good? It's just over.
Oh no.
You couldn't do that.
No.
Losing
no. That would then I might say we have a problem.
You got to retire.
But because it is, and I think that people were very appreciative. I mean, I did. I got out of bed.
Right.
It was the middle of the night, and I wanted to do whatever I could. And Chris knew calling me was the best choice in that situation. And us working together as a team was, if he couldn't get it done by himself at that point, tagging the teammate and let's see if we can do it together. But I mean, we take the job really seriously. And we've talked about in the past, there's something very gratifying about this side hustle because people ask us all the time, why do you still do this? We started it out of a necessity. We were planning for our wedding. We worked in local news. We made local news money, which is not very good. We had certain things involved with our wedding that we wanted to be able to pay for, and we were paying for the bulk of our wedding, the two of us. And so we started this dog sitting business to make that work. Now we're both in way more stable financial situations, but we enjoy the act of doing a job that has very concrete, you did a good job. You know what I mean? Our job is so subjective sometimes. We just get up here and talk. You can say, I had a really good show today, but someone else could have watched your show and said, oh, that was a terrible show, Gary. I hate that show.
Except I really don't think.
Don't even think about it.
I know. I feel like I am capable of knowing when I do well, and when I do a good show or a bad show or write a good column or a bad column. I know that, and nobody else's opinion will influence my opinion of that.
Oh, and I'm with you.
Yeah.
If I think I had a bad show, someone telling me I had a good
show,
I know
nothing
for me.
Yeah, I know when it's bad. I know when it's I
I
walk out of here and I go, I just, I did that was not what I wanted to do today.
Too.
I know that feeling, and you telling me great show will not change that.
Same.
And
you telling me bad show won't.
No, yeah.
Change it
either. I just because we have comments. I see this stuff sometimes, and it'll be I don't, and I'm like, well, I don't respect that person.
Yeah.
I don't mean that in a weird way. I just mean that that a person's opinion on what I just did doesn't matter to me at all because I don't respect I don't even think they know what's good and what's not. But I do. I know what's good and what is.
At this point, I'm comfortable enough knowing like I can call this good or I can call
That's
this
right.
bad. But with dog sitting, it's just very clear. Like, did I keep this person's dog alive? Did I give it love? Did I feed it? Did it wake up this morning? Did it go to the bathroom? And when you can cross those things off, there's been something very strangely gratifying. I've tried to start writing about it a handful of times.
You find it
because
satisfying?
Yes, in a way that takes me back to like, getting a good grade on a paper, or just being nice to someone,
Right.
or doing something that helped alleviate someone else's stresses. Like,
Sure.
they're out of town, they're stressed about their dog. Don't worry, I got you. Which is why when something like last night happens, it's so dramatic. But then you also feel a sense of accomplishment. Like, I was presented this insane puzzle last night that could have gone very, very wrong. And instead, we worked it out. Like, it had a happy ending. That's all you want in the end. Now, knock on wood, we don't have a bad one. We have another dog sitting job. If they're listening today, I love your dogs.
Well, like, just let's try to
These
get
dogs
through
don't
this
have
one
a
without. Let's try
backyard.
to get through this one without a hiccup.
These dogs don't have a backyard.
Thank God.
Well, usually the backyard is such a hack because then you don't have to walk them to go to the bathroom. You can let them out into the
I think I'm the
backyard.
only person on the planet who has owned now 4 different dogs in my adult life.
Oh, that's a lot.
We've had Mickey the Maltese.
I love the alliteration.
Mickey the Maltese.
Yeah,
rest
in peace.
Rest in peace.
R.I.P.
And then we had Lola the pug.
Her name was Lola.
Yeah. Piper the pug.
Back to the alliteration.
And then Luca the Frenchie.
Okay.
And I've never walked any of them. We've never had to walk dogs.
So you have a yard.
We have a backyard.
Yard money.
We
That
have
all sums it up.
We have doggy doors. I don't even have to let my dogs out.
Oh.
You ready for this?
goal.
Not with Luca, because Luca's a little
dream.
too wild still.
Yeah.
But with Piper, we've done this. We could go on vacation and just leave her by herself, and as long as she has food and water,
She's fine.
she's fine.
That's amazing.
It is
It's like
amazing.
a cat.
It's like a cat, except it's not a cat. It's a dog.
Yeah.
It's like all the good stuff with a cat without having to be a cat. You know?
Without it crawling on your counter.
Yeah, it's
you
like
know?
it's you get all the positives that come with having a cat.
That's funny.
But you don't have to have a cat. I enjoy it.
It's interesting.
But I watch people all the time. Like my neighbors, they walk their dog every day. I
Yeah.
watch them. I hear Vernon talking about I had to get up in the rain and walk my dog. Am I not doing something right?
I gotta walk my dog. And we have a backyard, but he's a border collie, and
So
so
we need a
he's
little
like
extra
he
activity.
needs that extra. Yeah.
Like, am I failing as a dog owner?
I don't think so, because you got a little dog in a big backyard can go like crazy.
They can do whatever they want to do.
Yeah.
They can do whatever they want to do.
It's weird because when we normally dog sit, like if someone gives us the option to walk the dog or not, like if they're explicit, like the dog does not need to be walked,
Right.
we will tell them, okay, we're not going to walk your dog then because that adds a variable. Like walking the dog
Sure.
presents an opportunity for dog to get off leash and dog to run away in a sense like that. Like we never take dogs to dog parks ever. As a dog sitter, that's like one of my big no-nos. I refuse.
Why are you against dog parks?
Because like what if that dog gets in a fight with another dog? There's so many
Then let's
different
win it.
things
Let's
that can
win the
happen.
fight.
Let's win the damn fight. Then I'm gonna be cheering for that dog to win that fight.
That's right.
in that
I
situation.
got that dog's back.
But that's one of those things where I'm like, why would I take your dog into an environment where I don't know how your dog entirely reacts? You can tell me how your dog reacts.
Right.
But again, going back to the situation last night, and this has happened to us, people will tell us, oh, my dog is the best dog
Everybody
in the
thinks
world.
their dog's the
Everyone
best. Everybody thinks their
dog is
baby's
dog
the
in
best.
world.
Everybody thinks their dog's the best. I got news for you. Your
And
dog's
then-
not that great. Neither is your baby.
Yeah, next thing I know, a dog is like having explosive diarrhea in its kennel, rolling around in it, and then shaking. And when I come out in the morning, it shakes its poop on me, and I'm like, "That's the best dog
That's
in the
not
world.
the best
That's
dog
not
in
the
the
best
world.
dog in the world."
That's not
I
even. That's
assure
not
you.
even like top 50 dog.
So when people say my dog is good with other dogs, I'm like, okay, great. Your dog has been good with other dogs with you,
Right.
its owner. But what if with me, there's no response? What if it happens to like Chris last night? Something happens in the dog's brain where it forgets this new voice and screams stranger danger.
You end up
But I
in jail.
love the dogs. They're so cute.
Yeah.
One bad night does not take away.
One bad
from,
night doesn't ruin a lifetime of good nights,
I'd
does
watch
it?
him again.
Unless it's a really
I don't,
bad
I don't
night,
know
then it
if
could.
the owner.
Yeah,
will,
you might be out of luck on this one.
I don't know.
You know what?
Whose fault is it? If the hole is, if they didn't tell us that there was a hole in the
That's
fence.
right. No, if I were the dog owner, I would say, I'd rather not have to deal with this. I'd rather, I'm on vacation. I don't want somebody
Right.
calling me at
I know,
1 in the
midnight,
morning.
1 in the morning.
But my God, they did everything they could possibly do to
Yeah.
salvage this situation.
Yeah.
I respect that.
That's what we try
You,
for. We just wanna
I
be
would look at you
respected.
and I would, if I were doing a Yelp review, I would say they.
Well, on Rover, you can do a Rover review. We have
if I
nothing
were
but
doing,
5 stars.
If I were doing a Rover review, I'd give you 5 stars.
Thank you.
Just based on friendship more than anything else.
that's
I just want to
wonderful.
support you.
If you want to just throw us a 5-star review,
I will. In fact, I'll do that today. But I want you to know it's insincere.
Okay. I'll also throw the Gary Parrish show a 5-star
that'd
review
be nice.
if you throw a Jessica
I will,
Benson
but
show
I
a
don't.
5-star.
I feel like 5 stars. You should have to be without incident. You had an
I
incident.
know. Preferably, you would want no incident.
But so here's what my review would be. I would prefer dog sitters to not lose my dog in the middle of the night.
I prefer to not get a call from the dog
I don't
sitter.
want. I want you taking care of my dogs. I don't want you calling me. Okay, it's like the people who do my lawn, sir. I don't want them calling me in the middle of them cutting my yard. Just cut my yard and then go cut somebody else's yard.
Yeah.
We don't need to talk about it.
Yeah.
All right. So I don't need them calling me in the middle of the night or in the middle of the day. I don't ever want to talk to you.
Yeah.
But I do appreciate that this man chased his dog around in the middle of the night, and his wife came from downtown to help.
It's true.
That
She
means
did.
they cared. They cared. They didn't.
After a Grizzlies game
After
with a morning show.
After a Grizzlies game with 25-point law. After a 25-point loss, this woman got out of bed.
The preseason
chased
is
my
for
dog
all of
around.
us. I was so out of whack.
You got to watch
yesterday.
Brandon Miller. I was about to. You got to be careful.
What were you going to say with Brandon?
I was really about to say you get to
looked
watch
great.
Brandon Miller murder
Looked
the
great.
Grizzlies, and I was
Looked
like,
great.
you can't
No,
say that.
You can't say that. He looked great.
We watched Brandon
Watch
Miller.
Trey Mann. Watch 39-year-old Taj Gibson fight on forever. Taj Gibson's so old he predates me at USC.
I remember Taj Gibson at USC.
Yeah.
I think I've been in the Galen Center with Taj Gibson at USC.
I haven't because I wasn't there yet.
Was he
He was the year before me.
Was he before OJ? Or with OJ or after OJ?
One season with OJ?
I don't know. I'm trying to think
His
when I would
last
have been at the
season
Galen
was-
Center, and the only time I remember being at the Galen Center was when OJ Mayo was there.
Yeah. OJ was there 2008.
Seven.
So so 2007, 2008, and I think Taj was there 2006 to 2009.
Okay, so yeah, that's it. All makes sense.
Yeah.
So I
I had to watch that.
That's a tough night to
Sure
watch
was.
Brandon Miller destroy your home franchise, and then you
In
got to
a
chase his dog.
preseason
Then you
game.
got to get dressed, go chase dogs around in the middle of the night.
I know.
That's a tough
When
night.
I say I have that dog in me, it's not what I mean.
Is today going to be better for you? You think?
I sure hope so.
Do you have to get a nap? Can you get through this day without a nap?
Oh, that's a great. See, and I didn't have a nap yesterday, which really fouled me up. I need on days when I have a game and the show, like I have to take at least a 30-minute nap in the middle of the day,
And that's
or I am doomed.
30-minute naps are amazing. They really change the way you feel, and they don't take that long.
Yes, when I do a 2-hour nap, it sends me into the abyss. Like I wake
2
up. on
hours, I
another
wake up and
planet,
I don't
I'm
know.
like,
If I take a 2-hour nap, I wake up and I'm like, am I late for something? I don't know
Yeah.
what's going on.
Yeah.
But a good, hey, this is very normal for me. Got to pick the kids up from school at 3, get home, let's say 12:30ish, lay down at 1:30, wake up at 2. I do that a lot, and I feel great.
Man, it wrecks me.
I love it.
I don't
anytime
feel.
nap?
I don't feel, and I used to love them. I don't feel normal anymore. Like when I wake up, I'm like, where am I? Is that a problem?
Yeah, I think you got a
Is
problem.
that an issue?
Yeah, you should go see a neurologist.
You're gonna need to see
Or a
somebody
sleep
about that.
specialist.
Yeah, I like wake up and I'm like, what's going on?
Yeah, I'll take a nap today.
Yeah.
I'll take a fat nap.
I think
today.
you deserve
I gotta
one.
go back to the dogs. I gotta let them out one more time.
Be
now I'm scared. I'm
careful.
gonna stand in front of that hole. There was like it was like a grate had been put up to cover the hole, but the dogs figured out how to knock down the grate.
Smart.
And get smart dogs.
Smart dogs.
There's some smart
Smart.
dogs. But I'm gonna stand in front of that. I'm gonna say,
Yes,
you go pee
you need to
over
lay
there.
down in front of that hole.
I'm going to. I'm gonna sacrifice my body.
You just
across
lay there.
that.
Just lay
And
there
go
next
from
to
there.
yeah. Cover. Hey, I wish you luck.
Oh,
I
yeah,
feel like
thank
today's
you.
going to be better for you. I'd be shocked if you lost that
I
dog
really
again
want to
today.
go see a movie.
What movie would you like to see?
Well, I want to see The Wild Robot, which is supposed to be
So
tremendous.
good. Me and
Did you
Noah
see
went
it?
saw it last week, yeah. Or this
Okay.
week, actually,
So
Tuesday.
I either want to
Bennett
see...
might as well live at the movies. This dude's at the movies every day.
Well, he's on fall break. We got to find activities to do.
Yeah,
and stuff.
you don't put it off on your
This
son.
is going to
Yeah.
be controversial because Chris really wants to go see The Wild Robot because he wants to, after the trials of last night.
It's a tearjerker.
He wants a tearjerker and just something...
What is The Wild Robot about?
I honestly don't know.
It's about this.
a wild robot, duh.
I mean, I know
Actually,
that.
literally, it's about this robot that basically a shipment of these AI robots like crash into this forest, and one of them begins to become more self-aware than it's supposed to.
Oh, wow.
And a wonderful story ensues.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah.
I bet.
Okay.
Okay.
But I want to go see The Apprentice.
The Apprentice. Is that the movie?
The Trump movie.
Oh, I want to see it too.
Are the reviews good?
Yes.
I also want to see
fantastic.
The Substance.
Is that the one Sebastian Stan's in too?
No,
that's
with
the Demi Moore
horror movie, the body horror
Quayle.
movie. Yeah.
I want to see that one too. I think I want to see that one by myself. I don't need to have Chris be seeing, naked Margaret Quayle
Yeah.
all day.
Is she naked in it?
Yes, like
Oh, wow.
fully.
Yeah, but I think like naked and deformed. I
No.
don't think
Margaret Quayle, I think, is like naked and hot, and Demi Moore
becomes deformed. Okay.
I don't know. Either or. I'll watch that one by
Yeah, I
myself.
want to see it.
Margaret Qualley, Famous Parents.
Yes, Andy McDowell's daughter.
Yeah, she was in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Yes. She was also in a show called The Maid, or just Maid.
She is
I don't know,
cute.
She's very good.
She's a cute young
I
woman.
like her a lot. She's intriguing. She has like the gap tooth.
She's intriguing. Who's she married to?
Is she married?
I think she married
she's
Taylor
in-
Swift's producer. Is that
yeah,
true?
I was gonna say
Yes,
she's married to
Jack
some.
Antonoff.
Yeah, that's right.
And it was their wedding when, remember, like the crazy paparazzi scenes? Yes, that is the one. She was also in a movie this year called Drive Away Dolls that was very, very good. I highly recommend that.
All
But
right.
I keep seeing these
I
reviews
respect her
for
work.
the
I respect her
Apprentice
work.
movie keeps getting like killer reviews. It's Sebastian Stan and Jeremy Strong
Okay.
from Secession.
Yeah.
And their press tour has been great. And there was all this drama around like if this movie was going to be allowed to
In advance
come out
of the election.
In advance of the election.
Right.
And ultimately, I think it was like dubbed, how bad would it look if we didn't allow a movie? Like that's like some North Korea level stuff.
It's about a young Donald Trump, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. So anyway, I'm fascinated by it. And what if it does get pulled from the theaters eventually? So I want to see it before. I've seen a lot of people say
Are they going to
that
call it
have-
election interference? It feels like they're going to try to call it election interference. I like it when people start talking about election interference. That's always fun.
I have like election fatigue.
Especially when there's no proof of it.
I have election fatigue, and other people have said the same thing, but they went and saw this movie and still found it like a very compelling watch.
Okay.
And a worthwhile watch.
Okay, I probably won't do any of it, but
Okay, well, I'll see it and I'll
but it's
tell you
all
how it
it's
is
all
on
at least
Monday.
it's all at least on my radar now.
Yeah.
All right, listen. I promise you, I'd get you out of here early. I'm
That's
gonna try.
okay.
I'm gonna try to keep my.
I literally have to go walk another dog at 11, so
Jesus Christ.
whatever.
Well, be careful. All right.
I'm going to.
Be careful this time.
I was careful. Let's be perfectly clear.
I know.
We were careful.
I know, but be more careful.
More careful when I fell in the hole. That I could have been more careful on.
You're
falling a hole?
You're an accident waiting to happen.
No.
Don't say that.
right.
I have not anxiety is the well, I have lots of anxiety.
Sure.
But I'm self-conscious
Yeah.
that I am an
Oh.
accident waiting to happen. Are you going to play in the 3-on-3 tournament?
No.
Oh,
No.
come on. We can make a team.
I saw. No. Are you gonna play?
I just want to freak them out. I want to get fully suited up, and I want to see if they tell me no.
Yeah. No, I can't do that.
I'm going to get to the mandatory warm-up session
Yeah.
and then be like, nah, it's okay.
Yeah. I don't think I'm.
Okay.
I
What
don't-
were you going to ask, though? Not the 3-on-3 tournament?
Yeah. I don't think I was gonna. I think I'm done asking you stuff.
Okay. What should I have for lunch?
A nap. You need a nap for lunch.
Okay.
All right. Go get some sleep. Have a pleasant weekend. Try to keep up
you.
with everybody's dogs.
Thank you.
All right. I'll see you later.
Own a poke.
A what?
Our favorite little spot. It's been a while since I've
Oh
been.
my God.
We got a spot.
Oh, we do. He told me he was going to have a shirt for me the next time I come in. I'm for sure getting Ono
The owner,
Pokey.
the owner likes the shows. He's a good dude.
Yeah. He's the
Yep.
best. He watches our shows. He's a
What's
big Grind
it?
City Mania fan.
What are we talking about?
Ono
Ono
Pokey.
Poke.
Where is that?
It's
Right across from East High
Yeah, it's
School.
right across the street from East. Yep.
Okay. What am I supposed to do there?
Get you a bowl of poke.
I like that.
I love Pokey.
I have that all the time in New York.
Just get
It's
one of
right by
his-
my hotel.
He's got like his own different versions. Just get one of his versions.
Okay, I'll do that.
No.
Don't build your
Go
own.
the real Hawaiian way and just
I like to build my own.
just get
No,
Poke.
don't build your own.
I
Let
like
him
to build my
it for
own.
you.
I
No,
build
no,
my
no.
I build my own Papa Bowls every time.
I build my own because all
Do you build
I
your own
get-
Papa Bowls?
I've never had a Papa Bowl.
Then
What's a
you-
Papa Bowl?
It's a bowl. It's a bowl from Papa John's.
Oh, well,
Papa
that's
John's?
different.
I build my own Papa Bowl.
Well, I would build
Papa
my own
John's
Papa
has
Bowl.
bowls?
Yeah, they play a bowl and you say, I want cheese, meatballs, pepperonis, bacon, jalapenos, and onions. It's 6 ingredients.
What's the base?
Nothing. It's just all that stuff in a
That's
bowl.
so weird.
I mean, you can build your own Papa Bowl. Like, I'm not gonna let Papa John tell me how to build a bowl, but
Yeah,
like,
no.
I'm gonna
with
let
all-
the authentic.
respectfully, I ain't gonna let nobody build nothing for me. I'll build my own stuff.
No, man.
Don't get me excited. I could talk about bowls for my favorite day of the week in our household because we eat like the same thing Monday through Friday. But bowl day is either Tuesday or Wednesday, depending on our scheduling, and it's quinoa, peppers, onions, mushroom, some little like purple sweet potato, a little chicken sausage, and avocado,
I
and
like a good
sriracha on
bowl.
top.
Get them mushrooms out of there, and I'll have I'll have me a plate. Get those mushrooms out of there, and I'll have me a plate.
Back to Onopoke, because I want to stand for them forever. The guy's the nicest guy. He gets his fish flown in from Hawaii.
Yep.
He is great vibes. They have a ton of like super bad stuff up on the walls.
Okay,
like
I'm gonna go check this place out.
Driver's license.
I'm gonna go check this place out, but I'm gonna build my own.
That's fine. I literally just get poke rice and sauce on top.
Well, I'm gonna figure this out.
Because I don't know if I've told you, but I used to spend Christmases in Hawaii, and that's how I had it.
She's
your connection.
Such a privileged life she lived. Oh.
You get it in a garbage bag.
They give you a garbage bag?
Yeah, at like Hawaii gas stations, you just like get poke and they put it in a trash bag, or in a big plastic bag.
Seems like there's a better way to do that.
No, you gotta live like the locals.
I bet there's a better way to do it if we look into it.
I don't know. I think it adds character.
All right. Go get your nap.
And pokey. Thank you.
Pokey. Go get your nap and your pokey. That's Jessica Benson. If you ever need somebody to take care of your dog, she's willing to do it. And if she loses your dog, she'll try real hard to find it. That's true. That's all true.
I think that's a factual
That's a
representation.
factual representation of what's going on over at the Luther household. I'll see you later.
Luther Benson, bye. I'm out.
No, it's the
Goodbye.
It's the Luther household. If you had to put a mat in front of your
Wow.
door, if you had to put a mat in front of your door with your name on it,
It would say the Benson household, and then he would put one on top that said the Luther household, and then I would take the one on the bottom and put it back on the top and say the Benson household.
would this really be a point of contention in your marriage?
It's one of our only consistent points of contention in our marriage.
Do you think you ever solve points of contention in a marriage?
No, because the only way this one gets solved is if one of us gives up.
You won't do it.
I mean, I'm going to when we have kids someday.
Yeah.
But professionally, it'll always be Jessica Benson.
All right.
Please.
All right. I'll leave that up to y'all. I feel like that's
the Luther household.
I feel like that's none of my business.
Oh, I love talking about it. I think it's funny.
I feel like it's none of my
Okay.
business. All right. That's Jessica
Bye.
Benson. If she loses your dog, she'll try to find it. We come back. Hey, remember when I told you all week long there's no way Memphis is going to play football in Tampa on Saturday? Turns out Memphis finally said it too. They're moving it to Orlando. We'll talk Tiger football next. Gary Parrish Show presented by Ortho South.
The home dogs are barking. How about the Minnesota Vikings? Home dog the last 2 weeks. They've been a dog in all 3 games this season. They're 3-0, winning by 22, winning by 6, and winning by 27. Dominating their opponent, dominating the point spread, 3-0 against the number. And then they're a dog again this week, aren't they? At Green Bay. 2.5 point dog at Green Bay.
They are dogging it.
The Odds Couple, live at 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
What do you think about this matchup against the Pirates and the Bison?
Well, the first thing that comes to mind is who in the hell put Gus Johnson as the notable alumni selection when we got Kamala Harris right now? That's more relevant. It's 28 people I would have named before I would have got the Gus Johnson.
My assumption is, Mike, Hampton will find a way to come up again. Get all of your HBCU sports and culture news by tuning in to HBCU Huddle with CJ Hurt and Mike Wallace. New episodes drop every Thursday on grindcitymedia.com, YouTube, and Spotify.
Grizzlies fans know it's the team that gives you the edge. Big River Steel does too. And much like the Grizzlies have recruited legendary talent, we want you to be part of our team. Are you ready to be part of something legendary? Then visit www.bigriversteel.com. That's www.bigriversteel.com.
When it's all on the line, you turn to the strong, the stable, the unwavering. To those with a history of raising their performance to meet the moment. It's true in basketball. It's true in banking. Grizzlies checking from Pinnacle. Play hard, bank easy. Open a Grizzlies checking account with at least $100 and a recurring direct deposit by August 31st. And you could receive a $200 direct deposit bonus into your account. Details at grizzliesbanking.com. Member FDIC.
Justin Timberlake.
I'm bringing sexy back.
The Forget Tomorrow World Tour. Live in Memphis. Justin Timberlake. FedEx Forum, Saturday, November 23rd. Get tickets now at livenation.com. The brand new single Selfish is available to stream and download now.
So if I get jealous, I can't help it.
For more, hit up justintimberlake.com.
can be unpredictable, unforeseen, and unscheduled, and Ortho South understands this better than anyone. Since your injuries don't make appointments, you don't need to either, and that's because Ortho South welcomes walk-ins during the weekdays and the evenings and even on Saturdays. So next time an unforeseen injury makes an unscheduled appearance in your life, visit orthosouth.org to find your nearest urgent care location. Just walk in, and Ortho South will take care of everything, especially you. Learn more at orthosouth.org. That's orthosouth at orthosouth.org. Now I got 5 more things you need to know.
Number 1.
Schedule update. College football. Yep. The University of Memphis will no longer be flying to Tampa, Florida. They're going to Orlando to play South Florida. Usually when you go to Orlando, you play Central Florida. But they will be going to Orlando to play South Florida. And that's because South Florida is located in Tampa. And you might have heard they've been dealing with some bad weather. They've had unfortunate weather.
Yeah, it was the right move. It was always what they should have done.
Just always get it out of Tampa.
Yeah, get it out of Tampa. And so I'm glad they came to I'm glad they found a solution that wasn't cancel the game. Like I felt like that there's a lot of smart people involved with these decisions, and like, let's figure out how to play it. Let's just not play in Tampa.
I just don't understand how they ever got to the point where, for the time being, let's say we're going to do it in Tampa a day later. Originally, that game's supposed to be tonight.
Right.
Then Milton was on the way. And you know how Milton is. Yeah. And they said, well, we're not going to be able to do this on Friday, but I guess we could do it on Saturday. Mm-hmm. And I said, I think the word I used was tacky. Like, just because you can play football in Tampa on Saturday, theoretically, it doesn't mean that it's an appropriate thing to do when people have quite literally, in some cases, lost everything. People have died.
Yeah.
You know, it just felt wrong. So, move it a few hours away, go to Orlando, and it'll feel less wrong.
Yeah, and you give, I think that there was a lot of argument because, one of the things was, well, South Florida could just come play it here in Memphis. Well, they don't want to because then you lose your home field advantage. This gives people, the South Florida fans, an opportunity to still go and see the game and have sort of a home field advantage there. So I think it's a good solution.
Do you care? What I mean by that is there was a time where we had Tiger football fever.
Yeah.
We had Tiger football fever. They were undefeated. They had won at Florida State. They were ranked in the coaches poll, on the verge of being ranked in the AP poll, and positioned to maybe, just maybe, represent the group of 5 in the first ever 12-team college football playoff. We had Tiger fever.
Yep.
We went to the doctor. We were diagnosed. Doctor looked right at us. He said, I have a diagnosis to make. We said, what's going on, Doc? He said, you have Tiger fever. You're dealing with a case of Tiger fever.
Yep.
Do you still have it?
I do still have it. It would have been, I think that it would have taken a lot of wind out of the sail if this game would have been just canceled, because then you really do not have the opportunities to still try to compete for a conference title. Like you're just not going to have the games to be able to make
nobody's going to care if you go beat South Florida. Nobody's going to be like, that proves anything. It won't move the needle at all, will it?
But, here's the thing is they got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They got 7 games left. I mean, if you run the table, I think you are going to still be in contention for a conference title, which was always going to be the goal. So run the table.
Run the table.
They do need to, though. Another loss, I think it's just
another loss. We stopped talking about them at all.
I mean,
if they lose, you ready for this? If they lose to South Florida, we would talk about it on Monday, and then we will barely talk about them the rest of the season.
Well, I mean, the problem is just there's no compelling games. Like that's the worst part, and it's not their fault. Like there's no compelling games.
You can say it's not their fault, but whose fault is it?
Well, there was the whole conference thing with. I got it. I
understand what you're saying.
I get what you're saying too. But you win, you keep stacking up wins. People get more invested. You have a goal in front of you, which is a conference title. I think people are still very much invested in this season, but you just gotta keep winning.
I don't know if that's my point, and I'm not trying to ridicule. I'm asking from an honest place. Are people still into this season? Because my life of Tiger football, certainly my adult life of Tiger football, has regularly been, we'll care about it when it's 0-0. We'll care about it when it's 1-0 and 2-0. We'll care about it until it falls off and there's other things to take its place. In other words, you ready for this? Throughout the summer, do you know what we talked about quite a bit? The WNBA. Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, Asia Wilson, the Aces, trying to because you got to fill a show every day.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to get to the WNBA in a minute because last night was amazing, but it's just not a priority anymore because there's so much other stuff going on. Like the Yankees are playing last night and the Dodgers are playing tonight, and it's postseason baseball. Football's here, college, NFL, and it just sort of like our attention gets diverted from here to here.
Yeah.
I feel like the same thing happens with Tiger football unless it's so good and so accomplished and it's got a number next to its name and it's being talked about as a possible college football player. When that stuff's no longer in place or doesn't feel like it's in place as much as it was previously, we just go, Grizzly season starts in less than 2 weeks. We just start focusing on other stuff. It's not even intentional. It's not like I'm going to send you a private email and be like, we're done with Tiger football. It'll just be like I'll plan shows and it won't feel like there's anything interesting to talk about. And we're one more loss away from that.
I mean, I think that the bye came at a weird time because obviously you're coming off a win going into the bye, but it's not a conference win, right? You're just beating MTSU. So you've only played one conference game, and that was the bad loss to Navy. Now Navy is right there at the top with Army in the conference standings. So now they're positioned at 7th in the conference. They haven't played any conference games. So like that, they've got a chance to make up a ton of ground there.
I'll tell you how this can get flipped back around to where we are like getting fired up for it. They keep winning, and then what we find out, which may be true, by the way, they keep winning, and you know what we might find out? Navy's just really good.
Right.
You know? Like
Right.
Navy might be good.
I mean, they're undefeated right now.
You know, Navy might be good. They're 5-0.
Yeah.
So we might that'll make that loss sting a little less. But I just feel like we've gone from a place where it was like we're talking about all the possibilities, and now we're just sort of talking about whatever.
Can I say another thing real quick? Just because I'm looking at these conference standings, like this just bothered me, and I know that like there's logistical issues and whatever, dude. How many seasons are you going to have where Army and Navy are both 5-0 to start the season, both at the top of the conference, and the Army-Navy game is not even a freaking conference game? Like, that is a premier college football game, dude. The whole country watches that one. I feel like if you're the AAC, man, when you were negotiating with Army, you've got to figure that out. It's just another reason why I'm just so done with this conference. It's like, dude, that's one of the biggest games in college football. These two teams are amazing this year, and it's not even a conference game. It's just dumb.
I can't muster the energy to be bothered by whether Army and Navy is an AAC game or not.
I'm just telling you, if you want your conference to have like all the eyeballs and you're the Power Six and all that kind of stuff, like, dude, well, you like had an.
They were never the Power Six,
but you literally had an opportunity this season to have people be like, damn, look what's going on over there, and it's not even part of your conference.
Bennett's fired up.
It's just dumb. It was just dumb decision making.
I didn't see this one coming. I didn't know Bennett's going to be fired up about Army-Navy today.
I'm just saying, like, everybody will watch Army-Navy, but, like, everybody that's over here, like, pay attention to AAC. Well, they're not, because it's not a conference game.
Look how mad Bennett is at the AAC.
It's dumb.
Hey, I know what is a conference game. Memphis, South Florida.
Yes.
2:30 tomorrow.
Let's go.
In Orlando.
GTG, baby. Let's turn this thing around.
Let's turn this thing around. GTG.
Yep.
Number 2.
Big news, college basketball this morning. The Boozer twins have committed to Duke. That, of course, is where their father once played. Their father, of course, Carlos Boozer, All-American at Duke, long NBA career. The twins are great. Cameron Boozer is the best of the bunch.
God, I feel old.
Yelling about the AAC schedule.
Well, that and the Boozer twins.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that'll make you feel old.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Bronny, the Boozer twins.
You don't want to spend you just spent 2 minutes. You just spent 2 minutes of your life ranting about an AAC schedule and realizing that Carlos Boozer's got college kids on the way.
That's tough.
It's tough, man.
Yep.
Combine that with that gray in your beard, and it's tough. Cameron Boozer, awesome. Would be the number one player in the class of 2025, if not for A.J. DeBansa reclassifying to 2025. He is uncommitted and clearly the best player in the class, at least in my opinion, clearly the favorite to be the number one pick in what would be the 2026 NBA draft. But Boozer's right there with him. I talked to a lot of college coaches about DeBansa Boozer that debate, and most agree that DeBansa has the higher ceiling And if they could have one future, they'd rather have his. But I've had multiple coaches tell me, but if you needed to win a basketball game today, you take Cameron Boozer.
Okay.
But if you want to have the career earnings of one of those two, maybe go A.J. Devanza. But if you want to try to win a basketball game today, Cameron Boozer. Either way, John Shire, still looking for his first Final Four, still looking for, a national championship, but is certainly on the recruiting trail, has been able to prevent that program from slipping at all. A lot of things have changed in college basketball. The GOAT retired. NIL became a thing. Transfer waivers are now readily available. And none of it has altered Duke's ability to recruit the best high school players in the country. I know for a while John Calipari was the king of that, but it really flipped to Krzyzewski for the most part once he started prioritizing one-and-dones. And John Shire has continued to do that. Obviously, you got to mix, these high school graduates with older players from the transfer portal. The days of you going out and signing 5 high school players and trying to win the national championship with them, that's not happening anymore. So you're going to have to supplement the roster with older guys. You don't want Cameron Boozer being surrounded by a bunch of people the same age as Cameron Boozer, but you do want Cameron Boozer in your program. Awesome prospect, awesome player. Big day for the Duke Blue Devils.
Number 3.
Jessica Chastain's in a social media war with JetBlue.
I don't even need the details.
Your team, Chastain, no matter what.
I stand with Jessica in this. One of my favorite actors in the world.
I get a little confused with Jessica Chastain sometimes.
Okay.
Because there's that other movie.
Mm-hmm.
There's another actress that looks
Bryce
just like
Dallas
her.
Howard.
There's another actress that looks just like her.
Ron Howard's daughter.
But she's not her. Is that who it is?
Yes, Bryce Dallas Howard.
Let me make sure.
It's like that you're not. That's people. That's a thing.
Is she in like that tornado movie or no Jurassic Park?
Yeah.
Okay,
that's her.
The woman in Jurassic Park looks just like Jessica Chastain. You're telling me that's Bryce Dallas Howard?
Correct.
I get a little confused sometimes. I like them both though.
I think they're both great. Yes.
How you feel about a redhead, Bennett? How you feel about red hair?
Great.
I like it.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Do you enjoy red hair?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I appreciate her acting credentials
I know,
a little
but
bit
what
more
about
than her red hair.
What about
but
her mane? Do you
she's
approve of
great.
her mane?
Listen, let me tell you something. She is one of my favorites for a reason, all right?
What is the reason? Give me 3
I
reasons.
think she's like one of the best actors in the world.
Okay.
And she's beautiful. Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
You got one more reason? That's only 2. I wanted 3. Give me 3 reasons why you love Jessica Chastain. She's an amazing actor. She's beautiful. And what else?
And she don't take no shit, apparently.
Okay.
That's yeah.
Okay, so let me tell you what happened. She's on a JetBlue flight.
Okay.
All right? 6-hour flight, she says. And you know how you can, you need internet?
Yeah.
You can pay for it. It's $15.
Okay.
So she said, sure, I'm an acclaimed actress. I probably got $15 to spare on in-flight entertainment. So she spent $15 on in-flight entertainment, JetBlue. And apparently it didn't work so well, because life's not perfect.
The internet didn't work.
Right.
Well, okay.
So she jumps on, Jessica Chastain, she jumps on Twitter, and she says, I'm just going to quote her. "Thank you, JetBlue, for your $15 credit. My flight was $1,500, and the credit is 1/100th of the money I paid you. Strange that I paid that for your flight entertainment system that didn't work for the duration of my 6-hour flight, but I guess it was worth it for a $15 credit." Now, I know you say you don't need you hear the details, but I just gave them to you. And what you just heard, what you're looking at right there is Jessica Chastain. She is fired up at JetBlue, and she thinks she deserves something more than the $15 credit for her in-flight entertainment not working. Are you sure your team, Jessica Chastain? What does she expect JetBlue to do? What is JetBlue supposed to do? Bennett Doyle, you're on a flight. You pay $15 for in-flight entertainment. It doesn't work. They refund your money. What else are we supposed to do?
Okay, the funny thing about this is I had an idea of what was going on here, and for some reason I was thinking that it was like something was wrong with the flight, and so that they should have refunded her $1,500.
No, she just couldn't watch Succession on a stream.
Okay, fair enough.
Like if I were sitting with Jessica Chastain, I'd say first I'd say, I really like your hair. I'd say that first.
Okay.
And then I would say, what did you want them to do exactly? What did you want them to do? It didn't work. They gave you your money back. What did you want them to do?
Okay. You know, and listen, I know you're a loyal like Delta guy and everything. You have like great flight experiences, okay?
But
the majority of us don't, all right?
Are you ready for this? In-flight entertainment is hit or miss, always. Wi-Fi on planes is always hit or miss. I have a monthly subscription to Delta. I have Delta Wi-Fi all the time.
I think there needs to be a bigger discussion here. And the bigger discussion is these airlines are getting away with taking advantage of their customers.
I would ask this, how did they take advantage of her? They offered her in-flight entertainment for $15, just like they offered every other passenger. She said, I'll do that. And then it didn't work because sometimes things don't work. And they didn't fight with her. They refunded her and said, we're sorry. What else were they supposed to do?
I think good customer service would say you need to, besides just giving the refund, you need to add a little incentive there.
Meaning what?
Maybe like some frequent flyer miles or something of that nature, like something that she can use later down the line. And again, I'm not like, she's going to be fine. Like, I get it. Like, it's a rich person arguing about this kind of thing. Like, why do you care? Like, whatever. I respect her fighting for the people.
Do you ever see somebody complaining online at a company and go, like, what do you think when you see that? It never accomplishes what I think the person thinks it's accomplishing. Like, I had an airline lose my entire golf clubs and on a golf trip, and then bring me my golf clubs, except they weren't my golf clubs, and then had to come back and get those golf clubs, and then it took 3 days, and I never mentioned it on social media because I didn't feel like I had this moment. Like, I was incredibly frustrated. I spent a lot of money and a lot of time, and now I can't do what I've planned to do because this airline lost my golf clubs. I was frustrated, I think understandably so, but in a world where, like, you know, people are dealing with real stuff, how does it play if I'm complaining? Like, imagine I tweet this. How does this play? In a world where, like, people are really struggling and I do this. Thanks a lot, Delta. My golf clubs still aren't in Spain. So now I'm just sitting at this 5-star resort wondering what's going on. Like, who cares? Like, shut up.
I just think it's different when it comes to airlines, man, because most companies that are involved with some sort of customer service a lot of them, not all, a lot go out of their ways to make the customer happy, correct bad experiences, things like that. Airlines just don't, and they don't have to. I get it. Like, we're at the mercy of the airlines, but they just don't. Like, they do the worst customer service. It's airlines.
I've argued with airlines. I will argue with an airline, but I won't do it publicly. I just don't know that it ever.
Yeah, I get that. I don't do that either.
But like Vance is in the chat. He says, like, you know, you need to do it publicly because they need to be held accountable publicly. So maybe what Jessica Chastain would tell you is that I'm not fighting for me. I don't need these $15.
See, that's where I'm at with this.
I'm fighting for you.
Yes.
I'm fighting for the people who can't.
I'm fighting for the people.
Imagine you book a 6-hour flight on JetBlue, and you've got a lot of work to do. And you book it in part because they say, we have Wi-Fi available for $15. You say, okay, cool. I'm going to knock out all this work. And then I get on that plane and it doesn't work. Well, you just haven't. Thanks for giving me my money back. But what about the 6 hours of travel time that I was planning to work and I couldn't? Because what you told me would be available to me wasn't available to me. I'm coming around a little bit.
Yeah, I just think, like, you know, you just see all these horror stories about people and their flights get delayed, their flights get canceled, they're sleeping on the chairs in the airports and things like that. And I'm just like, man, we need to.
They will screw you. They will. Like, I got into a big argument with Delta within the past year. It was with Kelly and one of Kelly's employees. They were flying to, I don't know, wherever they were going, they were flying. And they were just hanging out in the lounge at the Sky Club, like, I think at Memphis International. And, you know, let's say just flight leaves at noon. And, you know, they'll tell you shut the doors 10 minutes before, maybe 15. I always say 20 is like, I'm going to get there at 20, right?
Yeah.
If you're there 20 minutes before takeoff, you should be fine. It is actually like they can't close. They should not be allowed to close the doors before that.
Right.
So I always get there at 20. Well, they got there with 12 minutes before departure. And they shut the doors on them. and or maybe it was 16. I don't remember exactly what it was. I don't want to get caught up in some lie.
Right.
But it was like whatever the stated the doors close at this time, whatever that, if it's 15, let's say it's 15 minutes. They were there 17 minutes before. They might have only had 2 minutes of wiggle room, but they had 2 minutes wiggle room. So I'm on the phone with them, and they just took them off the flight. They wouldn't let them on. They said, no, we gave your seats away. Well, how could you give our seats away? We're here 17 minutes before departure. You're not supposed to close the doors 50. Well, so I'm on the phone with them, and I'm like, listen, you've messed up an entire travel day. I get it. If she was late, that's on her. I'll hang up with you, and I'll tell her she should have done better. But this seems to be you. And I said, just let me ask you a serious, because they kept trying to, well, Mr. Parrish, no. What time are doors supposed to close? 15 minutes before departure. Okay. You're not even disputing that they were there 17 minutes before departure. You're not even arguing with me.
Right.
So tell me how they were wrong. You said you got to be here by this time. They were there by that time. Tell me how they were wrong. If you tell me how they were wrong, I'll hang up with you and I'll tell them they were wrong. But so far, I've heard nothing that suggests that they were wrong. And they just wouldn't budge until finally they just, like you said, overwhelmed her with Delta miles. They were like, here's 60,000 miles. Please just hang up leave us alone.
Right.
But it took me having to call. Otherwise, they would have just left it there.
Yeah, and there's nothing you can do. That's just kind of like, I don't know. I tend to never side with the airline industries because it just seems like they never do enough to try to make the experience easier on the customer when something goes wrong. That it never seems like it's the case.
All right. I'm going to give Jessica Chastain a break on this one. I don't feel like you actually accomplished much by complaining about $15 as like an Academy Award nominee.
Of course,
okay?
yes, yeah.
I just think you're going to lose people right from the jump, just like you lost me right from the jump. But if Jessica Chastain says, this is what I hope Jessica Chastain would say. I know I'm going to get ridiculed for complaining about $15 online. I know I'm going to get ridiculed for that because it's a millionaire complaining about $15. I got it. I'm not complaining for me. I'm complaining because they'll do this to you too.
Yes.
I am lucky enough to have a platform where when I complain, it'll get on TMZ.
And people see it. Yeah.
People will see it. All right? You complain, nobody sees it. I'm fighting for you. I hope that's what Jessica Chastain
I think
said.
it is what she was doing.
And if she was doing that,
She's smart.
Then let's tip a hat to her.
Let's
okay?
go.
Let's tip a hat to her.
Let's go.
Let's go, Jessica Chastain.
Yeah.
I like her. Bennett says she's beautiful.
4.
She's great.
WNBA Finals, Game 1 was last night. The Lynx went and stole one. Because Breanna Stewart blew it.
That was crazy, dude.
First off, they were up. New York was up 15 points with less than 5 to play. It's the first time a WNBA team in the playoffs has ever blown a 15-point lead with less than 5 to play. All right? What you watched last night had never happened in the playoffs in the history of WNBA. Breanna Stewart's got a free throw at the end of regulation. Make it. We're done here.
Yep.
Can't make it. And then we get to the end of overtime. She blows a layup. She just blows a layup.
Man. I like their color scheme quite a bit.
It's a nice color scheme.
Yeah, I like it. That's aesthetically pleasing.
As I was sitting there watching that last night, you know what I couldn't help but think? Caitlin would have made that.
Yeah. Yeah.
They
should have put her there. They should have just said, no matter who made it, they should have just been like, hey, sorry, we're just gonna put the Indiana Fever in.
I was turned just enough last night to where I almost tweeted, Caitlin would have made that.
Yeah, and then that would not have gone well.
And I said, you know what? I don't need this in my life tonight.
No.
I don't need this kind of energy in my life tonight.
Once again, sarcasm just doesn't translate. It does not translate on social media.
Oh, I got people still trying to argue with me because I accused the Dallas Mavericks of trying to
end your job with the pass.
I literally tweeted that the Mavericks have devised a plan to maintain their hold on the Western Conference. And part of that plan is throwing balls at Ja Morant's feet until he can no longer play. Can you imagine how dumb you got to be to read that and think that I'm being serious? To think, because if you take that seriously, here's what you think I'm saying. As a basketball analyst, here's what you think I'm saying. That the Dallas Mavericks actually sat down and devised a plan, like in the locker room.
He's got bad ankles. Here's what we need to do.
We're going to throw balls at Ja Morant's feet until he can't play anymore. Yeah. If you If you actually believe I'm being serious, that's what you think I'm saying. And you can go find it. There are people arguing with me right now.
Oh, I know.
Do you know how dumb you have to? Don't ever tell me people aren't as dumb as I think. Because I have social media and I see it every day. They are.
Yeah.
So if I didn't want to do it, twice in the same week. But I was just like, I was right here. I was like, Caitlin Clark would have made that.
Yeah. I submit that you should have to pass some kind of test to be able to activate an account on social media. It doesn't have to be hard. It just, you have to pass a common sense test to get an account on a social media platform.
That would ruin social media. That would ruin it.
It actually might ruin it.
Yeah.
Now that I think about it, it actually might ruin it.
It'd make our world better.
We wouldn't have as much fun.
We wouldn't have as much fun.
That's true. I'm glad you said that.
It would make our world better, but we would not have as much fun. Oh, by the way, did you see the other announcement? I don't mean to just keep predicting things exactly right.
What's going on?
There's no way Memphis is going to play in Tampa this weekend. There's Memphis over there talking about, we're going to play in Tampa. No, you're not. Stop.
Okay, what?
How do I know more about this than you do? All right? What did I tell you earlier in the week?
What?
You said, what's the WNBA Finals? Best of 5? I said, for now.
Mm-hmm.
For now. But you got an opportunity to have more Caitlin Clark games. Mm-hmm. You're going to do that. What they announced last night?
What?
WNBA Finals next year.
Best of 7?
That's right.
That makes sense.
Of course it does.
Yeah, because I think there's also something to just giving people time to get invested in a series, right? These series have flown by. These best of 5 series have just flown by. I think you're giving people time to get into it a little bit more.
My suggestion has been get away from football. Don't schedule any games on opposite football.
Yeah.
And let's do best of 7.
I like it.
The more Brianna Stewart games we get, the better. The more Asia Wilson games we get, the better. The more, Caitlin Clark games we get, the better. About time they figured that out.
Yeah.
Look forward to a 7-game WNBA Finals next year.
Number 5.
And the Yankees eliminated the Royals last night in Kansas City. Garrett Cole, he did his job.
Yep.
He did his job. And so now the Yankees have advanced to the ALCS. The Mets, of course, are in the NLCS. This is essentially the Final Four of Major League Baseball. Mm-hmm. And the only teams in it as of this moment are the Yankees of New York and the Mets of New York.
Yeah.
We are not too far away from what they call a Subway Series.
So I sent you that tweet that Schefter put out.
Did you see that?
Dude. Okay, so you're obviously way more, you go there all the time, so you're way more familiar with this than me. So the Mets are going to be playing on Monday night.
Yeah.
The Mets are going to be playing at Citi Field.
No.
Oh, no, they're not.
They will either be playing in San Diego or Los Angeles.
Okay, so all right, because I was thinking in my head, I was like, how are they even going to pull this off in New York if all these massive games are going on at the same time?
Well, they're all in different places.
I mean, but you're still going to have. So how far is?
Well, if they were all in New York, Yankee Stadium's over here, Citi Field's here.
Where's the Meadowlands? Jersey.
Yeah, here.
So way further away than
they're
Yankee
all
Stadium.
different places.
Okay, because. I was going to say.
They're all very different places.
Gotcha. Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah, it'd be fine, but that's not what we're going to have to do. So here's what you're referencing. Let me find your little tweet here that you sent me. So Schefter tweeted it. So on Monday, it's a big Monday for New York sports fans.
Yes.
That's the way to put it. Mets at Dodgers or Padres in Game 2 of the NLCS will be at 3 o'clock Central.
Okay.
That will be on the road. The Yankees will be hosting Game 1 of the ALCS at 6:40 Central. And the Jets will be hosting the Bills in Monday Night Football at 7:15 Central.
That's crazy.
So you've got 2 New York NFL teams playing in New Jersey, but just across the river.
Yeah.
Yankees at home, Mets on the road. Big day for New York sports fans. I'm fired up.
That is a big day for New York. Man, that city's going to be popping on Monday.
Fired up.
That city is going to be popping off on Monday. Plus, you're going to get all the Bills fans coming down to the Meadow. Is it still the Meadowlands?
It's still MetLife.
MetLife, yeah.
MetLife.
Yeah,
Stadium.
you're going to get all the Bills fans coming down to MetLife, too. Yeah.
It's going to be a party.
Yeah.
It's going to be a party.
Yeah, man.
Game 1 NLCS. We're just sitting around waiting. Hey, Dodgers, Padres, just text us when you get here. Just text us when you get here. Dodgers, Padres tonight.
I was going to say, yeah, we got to be close to wrapping that thing up.
Elimination game tonight.
Yeah.
We get Dodgers, Padres tonight. Winner advances to host the Mets in Game 1 on Sunday.
Who do you want? You want the Padres, right? No, you want the Dodgers.
I think I want the Dodgers. I think
it's a hell of a series.
I think the Dodgers are more compromised in their current condition than the Padres. I think the Padres might just be better than the Dodgers right now. Beyond that,
they got Shohei.
I know.
They got Shohei.
I know. It's scary. But I kind of like that. I fear no man.
Yeah.
I fear no team. I want, what's the biggest and the best path to a World Series? Let's knock out Shohei and then go knock out Aaron Judge.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Let's go knock out the big bad Dodgers and the NL MVP, and then go knock out the big bad Yankees and the AL MVP.
Yeah,
that's what I want. That's my plan.
No disrespect to the Detroit Tigers because it's a great story, but I don't have time for it. It's all setting up so perfectly for an amazing World Series this year.
I respect the Tigers in that story.
Yes.
I respect the Guardians in that story. We don't need a World Series. I say that because people will say the same thing about the Grizzlies if they're ever, 2 wins away from a NBA Finals and be like, we don't need the Grizzlies and small market Grizzlies.
Right.
That people.
We'll be stoked here.
But then we are them. In some ways.
It's very
Nobody
true.
wants us. All right. Just like we don't want them. So I'm aware of that. I ain't wishing bad things for them. I'm just saying I love baseball and I want baseball to be as big as it can be.
Yeah.
And the Yankees representing the American League in the World Series. It'd be one thing if it was like the Yankees or the Astros or the Yankees or the Red Sox. But when your options are Yankees, Tigers, or Guardians, you want the Yankees.
You want the Yankees.
It's the New York Yankees. So I think I want the Dodgers and the Mets. And Yankees and Tigers? But then in the World Series, you need Yankees and... Honestly, as a Mets fan, you want Mets, but Yankees-Dodgers would be awesome.
Yeah, it would.
Any combination of that would be awesome.
I think Yankees-Mets, Yankees-Dodgers would be an epic World Series. Yeah.
Dodgers-Padres, elimination game tonight. Winner advances, and then you get Guardians-Tigers. That's tomorrow night. So big-time baseball, elimination games in prime time tonight, tomorrow night, and then the NLCS gets started on Sunday. I'm fired up.
Yeah, me too, man. It's a big sports weekend.
I'm fired up.
Yep.
I'm going to turn up right now, I think. I might turn up right now.
I might turn up too.
All right. Be back with GP's carryout.
This is my favorite one-hit wonder of all time. You can listen up because here's a story about a little guy that lives in a blue world.
I was gonna take this.
And all day and all night and everything he sees is just blue like him. Inside and out, I'm blue.
Tune in to the Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt live every weekday at 8 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Is Ja Morant the player in the NBA with the most approved going into this season?
Ja Morant is one of the best players in the world. He's one of the best players in the world.
On the court, there is no question, barring injury, that what Ja Morant is.
Hey, Grizzlies fans, be sure to tune in to Grizzbeat, where the panel and I break down all things Grizzlies and take a look at the rest of the NBA as well. The show is live every Wednesday, 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GBWR.
Sonic Radio. Welcome back to Sonic RNDIO. That spells radio with me, the CIO. This just in, the new Sonic $1.99 menu lets you build a crave-worthy meal for just $1.99 an item. Whether that's a creamy shake, crispy tots, or a quarter-pound double cheeseburger. This just out. Ostriches. They're mean, not very cute, and in my opinion, way too big for a bird. Don't miss the Sonic Fun 99 menu. 5 items, always $1.99. Live free, eat Sonic.
Tax not included. See menu for details.
We got to talk about the best wrestling that we watched all week. You're up.
I think Bronson Reed and Braun Strowman put on a 5-star match in 60 seconds. I've never seen it happen before. Bronson Reed chunks the fan at Braun. I'm like, where the hell did that dude come from?
I got a tweet saying it's a good thing they're not in Memphis, or else that would have been one of the Memphis wrestling guys getting hurled.
Exactly.
Tune in to Grind City Wrestling weekly on the Grind City Media app and on the Grind City Media YouTube channel.
back. Gary Parrish Show presented by Ortho South. Let's wrap this Friday up with GP's Carryout.
It's time for GP's Carryout. One final segment filled with stuff to take with you. It's not everything you need to know, but it's most of it. What did we learn today?
Whole bunch of stuff, but I think what I'm most interested in, Bennett's got a crush on Jessica Chastain.
I always have. Yeah, this is nothing new.
It's not a new one. If you couldn't have Jessica Chastain, but I offered you Ron Howard's daughter, would you take that as a consolation prize? Not that I'm equipped to just be offering women to Bennett. That sounds like how you end up in jail with Diddy.
Yeah, careful.
Yeah. I'm going to be in jail with Diddy if I keep talking like this.
I think Jessica's her own unique person.
That other woman looks just like her.
I understand that. I understand.
Do you think they're bothered by it? You think they?
Yes. They've joked about it before.
It's outrageous.
Yeah, they've joked about it.
I don't know who's who. I don't know who's who. It's outrageous.
Yeah, I've seen them joking about it before. They're both great, though.
You know how you can tell them apart?
I think Bryce Dallas Howard's directing now.
You know how you can tell them apart? By what movie they're in.
That's accurate.
It's like, oh yeah, Jessica Chastain's in this movie that's up for an Oscar.
Yes.
And oh yeah, the other woman, she's fighting dinosaurs.
No, dude, she's been in some great stuff.
She fights dinosaurs.
She's been in some great movies.
Name 2.
The Village.
The Village was good.
Yeah.
Was it good?
Yeah, she was the star of The Village.
Okay.
Loved that movie.
Did you?
Yeah, I loved it.
Is that one of those
M. Night Shyamalan twist? Spoiler alert.
What happened to him?
Oh, he's back.
Is he?
Yeah, he's got a new movie out that's supposed to be really.
Everybody was like, he's a genius, and then everybody was like, all right, stop it already.
No,
stop it with your little twist.
He's had some misses. But he's had some good ones in between. But he's got a new movie in theaters right now called Trap with Josh Hartnett, and it's supposed to be really good. I haven't seen it, but it's supposed to be awesome.
Okay.
Yeah, he did Knock at the Cabin, which was good. Yeah, he's done some good stuff. We talked about him today on JB's show. He's done some good stuff.
Well, tell me one more film of Bryce Dallas Howard then.
She did. I almost got her confused.
I know. See?
Wait. No.
She fights dinosaurs, man.
Hang
Don't try to
on,
make
dude.
it out to be something more than it is.
Just hang
She's
on.
a dinosaur. Jessica Chastain's out there winning Oscars, and this young lady, she's out there just fighting dinosaurs.
That's not true at all.
It is the most true thing I've said today.
She's been in some good stuff. She was in. Hang on, let me find like the last thing that I saw that she was really good in that I liked. She did do a lot of those Jurassic Park movies, though.
Man, I ain't never seen her do nothing but fight dragons.
She was in a lot of those.
She was in The Help.
Well, she's directed. Okay, that's why they get confused. They are both in The Help.
That's outrageous.
Yeah, they're both in that movie.
Who decided to do that?
I don't know.
What do they do? Play twins?
But the weird thing about it is I'm pretty sure Jessica Chastain doesn't have red hair in that movie. I think she dyed her hair blonde in The Help. Yeah.
This is crazy.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on.
Yeah,
she was in The Help. I'll give her that. The Help was good.
Oh, she's in Pete's Dragon, the new one, which was good. She was in
Good Dick.
Are you sure?
She was in Good Dick.
Where are you seeing that? I think you're wrong. Oh, I do see it. I do see it.
How did they make a movie called Good Dick?
Yeah, how did that even how is that possible that got made?
I mean, you can't.
I don't like that. Oh, she was in Terminator Salvation, criminally underrated movie.
Let me tell you about Good Dick.
She's been in some
Can
good.
I tell you about Good Dick?
I don't want to know about it. I don't want to know about it.
A video store clerk stalks, spies on, and manipulates a reclusive woman who often comes to the video store where he works to rent softcore porn.
Okay.
Jessica Chastain would never be in this. If they called Jessica Chastain and said, "Do you want to be in Good Dick?" she would say, "No chance." That's the difference between Bryce Dallas Howard and Jessica Chastain. They might look alike, but Jessica Chastain would never be in Good Dick. You want to argue with me?
I'm not going to argue.
I don't think you can.
I'm not going to argue.
What a wild...
I'm a Jessica Chastain fan.
So am I.
And I like Bryce Dallas Howard, too.
Yeah, well...
She's great. They're both great.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
What's today's biggest game?
We're going to take you to Dodger Stadium.
All right.
7:08 first pitch on Fox. It's a closeout game for both franchises. The series is tied 2-2. And considering it's a best of 5, Game 5 is tonight. The winner will advance to lose to the Mets in the NLCS, and the loser is done after tonight. Right now, the Dodgers are listed as minus 145. Padres are plus 120. The Dodgers are going with Yamamoto, and the Padres, Yu Darvish.
Man,
how are you going to act?
You know, I'm just wondering, I just think the Padres might be better.
I think the Padres might be better.
I'm going to go Padres here.
You believe in Yu Darvish on the road.
Why has he not been good on the road? Is that a thing? Okay.
I like Yu Darvish. I can never forget. God, who was it? It might have been Christian Yelich. I don't know who it was. Mm-hmm. But when everybody was talking about sticky stuff and cheating and whatever, there was somebody said Yu Darvish popped off somewhere on Twitter or somewhere about somebody stealing signs. It might have been the Astros. It might have been a thing like Yu Darvish said something. I might have this story all screwed up. I think it was about the Astros and the Steins because Yu Darvish was quoted somewhere as saying, I always felt like they were stealing signs and they had advantages and they were cheating. And then somebody popped on from the Astros and was like, bro, we've never needed help hitting you. Nobody needs help hitting you. Said it right to Yu Darvish's face.
Damn, am I making a mistake here?
I don't know. I don't think so. He's 1-0 this postseason with 1.29 ERA.
Give me the Padres.
Bennett said he wants San Diego on the road, 7:08 first pitch. You can watch it on Fox.
What are we watching on TV?
SmackDown, USA Network, 7 o'clock tonight. Guess who's making his return?
John Cena?
No.
Who?
The OTC. The original Tribal Chief.
I thought he was. Oh, he hasn't been on SmackDown, though.
Not in a minute.
Not in a minute.
No, he wasn't there. I don't think he was on last week.
Okay.
Was he? I don't think he was.
I don't know.
When was Bad Blood? Was it Bad Blood was last weekend?
Bad Blood was last weekend, yep.
First SmackDown since Bad Blood.
Since Bad Blood.
Okay.
Yeah.
God, it seems like it was a year ago.
I know.
Roman Reigns will appear tonight.
Well, we got to address The Rock.
It's unclear if The Rock will be there.
Did you see him post on Twitter? He's back for real.
My understanding is that when he is typically going to be there, they don't try to keep it a secret.
Right.
Because he's box office.
Yeah,
they want people to know.
Why would you hide it? Yeah.
They don't ever try to hide him, really. Yeah. Even in advance of Bad Blood, if you just did Twitter searches, it was clear he was going to be there.
Yeah.
It was like he's in Atlanta area. They're not trying. They want people to know he's coming. So, are you concerned that as of this moment, we don't know if he's going to be there? Because typically they would want you to know. You concerned? You find yourself concerned?
No.
Yeah,
no.
Me neither.
I think, the rumor now is triple threat match. Roman, Cody, Rock for the title at WrestleMania. I don't love that. I don't know if I like it.
I'm
not a huge triple threat match
I don't think
fan.
I love a triple threat match.
I don't love triple threat matches.
Too much thinking going on in there.
Yeah.
Too much conspiring.
Yeah, give me a classic one-on-one bout.
I want to go one-on-one with you, I don't know if I like all that. 7 o'clock, USA Network. Bianca Belair and Jay Cargill will defend their titles.
Okay.
And,
because they hosted Bad Blood. They didn't compete.
LA Knight will defend his title against Carmelo Hayes, I think.
That's fine.
Did you see that they moved Raw to 2 hours?
Yeah, I did. I love that.
I love it,
It's
too.
a great move. It's. I know, the argument against it is, man, well, Raw always, let the up-and-comer...
3 hours is a long time to be sitting around on a Monday night watching wrestling.
Long. It's 2
2 hours is perfect.
2 hours is great.
You know what I do? I always watch... You know what I try to do? I watch the beginning live because I want to see it pop off.
Yep.
And then I might go do something else for...
Same.
30 minutes.
So you can fast forward through the commercials.
That's right.
Yep.
And then I catch up.
Me too.
I walk away.
Yep.
And then I'll fast forward through stupid matches that I don't care about.
Yep.
Through commercials. I watch all the interviews and all the stuff. And then by the end, and by the time we're 30 minutes left, I'm caught up and I'm ready to go live.
Yeah.
I've really figured this out. I feel like I figured out how to watch wrestling.
Yeah, that's a good way to watch.
7 o'clock, USA Network, tonight.
What's the best thing we've read?
Dennis Dodd, CBS Sports, is in Columbus, Ohio. He went to Columbus, Ohio, spent some time with Chip Kelly, who, of course, is Ohio State's offensive coordinator. He left a head coaching position at UCLA to go be the offensive coordinator at Ohio State. Dennis went to spend some time with him because Ohio State's at Oregon tomorrow night.
Okay. That's where he cut his teeth.
Yep. He was considered one of, if not the best football coaches in college.
For sure.
When he was at Oregon. Never really has been able to recapture that. But Ohio State's offense, I think, is ranked second in the country. So, he's doing well with this.
Yeah.
But going back to Oregon, that's always a interesting situation for him. If you haven't read it yet, it's on the homepage, cbssports.com.
What's on tap next week?
Well, we got the Hoops for St. Jude Classic.
Yeah.
On Tuesday night, North Carolina men, South Carolina women coming in town to compete in an exhibition inside FedEx Forum against the Memphis men and the Memphis women. So that'll be fun. Grizzlies preseason will continue to roll on. Hopefully the injury report adds no new names.
I hope so.
It's going to be a fun week. I'm looking forward to it already. If I could fast forward like it's wrestling and just get there right now, I'd do it.
Me too.
That's not the way life works, though. We'll have to wait till Monday. Enjoy your weekend. I'll enjoy mine. Meet me back here Monday at 10. Till then, be careful, be kind, be good. Rep your hood.